I've known him for a very long time. I've seen him grow up. Pero during the whole time I've known him, alam mo, isa ko napansin, nakita ko na yung kanyang mga narcissistic, toxic tendencies. It was very toxic actually. Pag nakikita mo how Franco moves and how he talks, how marami siyang passive-aggressive behavior. At dito mo nakita talaga na parang, hindi to isang tao na normal. Franco is a drug addict. He is a coke addict. Okay? I think that's common knowledge, but please fact check me on this, ha. But I mean, I've seen this guy high, okay, at a wedding before. High na high to. Yung mga ganun. I mean, I've seen Franco at his worst. And I remember Franco would brag about how he is untouchable. So si Franco Mabanta ay nahuli sa isang entrapment dahil sinubukan niyang mag-extort ng pera kay Martin Romualdez. Dito sa extortion attempt niya, it was at a value of 350 million pesos. Yun ang hinihingi niya kay Martin Romualdez. At ang nangyari dito ay nagsampa ng reklamo si Martin Romualdez sa NBI mga lampas 2 linggo na daw yun na sinampa niya yung kasong to o yung complaint na to kaya inimbestigahan to ng NBI at kaya nila ginawa yung entrapment. So, bago natin pag-usapan yung actual entrapment, how it took place and what happened, let's first dive into sino ba si Franco Mabanta. Okay? Kasi sa mga may hindi alam, Franco Mabanta actually started as the poster boy of Coke. I'm referring to the soft drinks. Okay? Sa mga may hindi alam. Pero dun siya nag-umpisa. Poster boy siya ng Coke. Siya yung si Jasper dito sa Coke commercial. I'll actually show you guys the Coke commercial para you guys can see what I'm talking about. Ito yun. Ayan. Oh, wait. Let me put on the headphones lang before I do this para lang, sorry, I forgot. Okay. And I'll make sure na may audio, guys. Not like the last time, nagkamali ako na walang audio. Ngayon, lahat, maayos ko to lahat. Okay? So, ito si Franco Mabanta back when he was a young commercial TV and TV host and commercial model. All right? And ito siya. Yan. Okay. Watch this.
They're so tagal! Yeah! May globe na nga pala ako. Pare, Jasper to. Kita tayo 12, right? Ubus ng prepaid ko. Buti na lang I got a Coke.
Sabi ka bang gumamit ng cellphone? Sagot ng Coke, pati prepaid card mo. Uminom lang ng Coke and look under the ground for free Globe Handyphone prepaid plus cards instantly. May free Coke products pa.
Pare, 12, di ba? Huh? Midnight? Nasa bahay pa naman ako eh. Gosh!
Okay. Yan, si Jasper, o kaya more commonly known now as Franco Mabanta, the DDS troll. At nung time na yun, naalala ko, I met Franco shortly after that and he became actually my talent. Isa siya sa mga hosts ko nung panahon na nagpo-produce pa ako ng mga shows sa mga iba't ibang network tulad ng TV5. Nung time na yun, ABC5 siya. Tapos nag-produce ako for IBC13, MTV, Studio 23. So yun yung mga ginagawa kong programa. At Franco was a host to one of my shows. And maybe alam mo if I can find that photo, no? Pero may photo ako ng isa sa mga programa na ginawa ni Franco with us eh. And honestly, back then, I mean, Franco and I were good. I mean, I considered him kind of like a friend, I guess. Kasi wala pa naman siya ginagawang mali sa akin noong time na yun. I've known him for a very long time. I've seen him grow up. Pero during the whole time I've known him, alam mo, isa ko napansin, nakita ko na yung kanyang mga narcissistic, toxic tendencies. It was very toxic, actually. Pag nakikita mo how Franco moves and how he talks, how marami siyang passive-aggressive behavior. At dito mo nakita talaga na parang, hindi to isang tao na normal. But, having said that, ang nangyari dito, eventually, Franco and I, you would say na I'd rather stay away from people like him. We had a falling out nung naging political commentator na siya. Pero bago siya naging political commentator, nung panahon pa, so let's first talk about yung panahon niya, pre-political commentator era niya. So, nag-TV host siya and then he would be doing all these posts on social media. Pero back then pa lang, hindi, na siya, nadidikit na siya sa mga kontrobersya. Okay. So, nung panahon na yon, this is all way before social media blew up. Nagkaroon na siya ng controversy dati with Sam YG. If I remember correctly, sa Boracay ito, at he had a beef with Sam YG. Nagdala siya ng mga barkada niya, goons niya, at yun na yung style na niya dati. Hindi niya kaya manghamon ng one-on-one. Kailangan siya magdala ng mga backup, mga rest back niya para manghamon ng isang tao. At may dala siya mga 2 o 3 mga tao na mukhang marunong lumaban siguro. At yun, sinapak-sapak niya, nakipagsuntukan eh. Ginulpi niya si Sam YG. Okay? Ganun ka duwag tong si Franco Mabanta, in my opinion, na nagdala pa siya ng mga backup para lang manghamon ng isang tao. Ganun na siya dati pa. Alam mo, sa akin, yung mga ganyan, yung mga ganyan tao, talaga medyo maingat lang ako sa ganyan. Anyway, so nangyari dito, eventually, Franco and I would still talk and hang out from time to time until a certain time na naging political commentator na siya. At dito ko nakita gano'n siya kagrabe, vicious. At ito na yung political commentator era niya. At yung era na to, para sa mga may hindi alam, started in 2016. Ngayon nakikita ko on social media na pinagkakalat ng mga DDS trolls na Franco is a BBM troll. Hindi daw siya DDS troll. Yun ang sinasabi nila. Pero, at sinasabi na 2018 pa daw siyang BBM troll. Okay, let's get the record straight. Ganito ko nakatagal kilala si Franco. I have seen Franco before he became a political commentator. Nag-start yung kanyang political career in 2016. Nung naglabas siya ng podcast niya na sinusuportahan ang candidacy ni Duterte. At sinasabi niya, he's in full support of Duterte. Pinost ito sa Facebook, nag-viral, it blew up. And ngayon ko lang nakakita ng isang tao na nag-i-English, na mukhang matalino, sounds smart. At dahil doon, nakakuha siya ng maraming followers. At ang dami na believe sa kanyang analysis dahil nga daw nag-i-English. And honestly, if you are not sharp enough to listen to what he's actually saying, Franco uses a lot of hyperbole, big words, superlatives. Mahilig siya sa mga ganong mga yung mga exaggerated words. Typical yan. Alam mo sino pang mahilig sa ganon? Si Donald Trump. Ganon din, di ba? Yung mga amazing, beautiful, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Ganon si Franco magsalita. Pag binasa mo yung mga post niya, panay ganon yan. Pero may mga iba, mabilis ma-impress sa ganyan at nag-i-English at dumikit agad sa kanya. Tapos yung time na yun, sikat si Duterte. Bago pa na-realize sa mga kababayan natin na mamamatay tao pala itong si Duterte, misogynist, at abusado, corrupt, pro-China, lahat yon. Bago nalaman na lahat yon, lahat ng tao, maraming bumoto kay Duterte. In fairness naman to him, marami akong kaibigan na dating DDS, todo suporta. Franco was one of them. And Franco was one of the first trolls. He was actually the OG, one of the OG trolls of Duterte. Kasama ni na Mocha Uson, sina Thinking Pinoy, RJ Nieto, and all the other DDS trolls. So much so na nung nanalo si Duterte bilang presidente, napansin niya si Mocha, di ba? Napansin niya yung mga yan Kasama dyan si Franco. At dahil dito, inimbitahan si Franco to join the troll army, and this formed yung unang troll army ni Duterte na mga vloggers or mga influencers na malalaki. Franco was part of that group. Yan. And Franco did not hide it. Sobrang pinagmalaki niya yan. Gaano siya kalapit kay Duterte. And I remember back then, me and him would still talk And for those that don't know, I mean, inaamin naman ata to ni Franco, and I think it's common knowledge, that Franco is a drug addict. He is a coke addict. Okay? I think that's common knowledge, but please fact check me on this, but I mean, I've seen this guy high, okay, at a wedding before. High na high to. Yung mga ganun. I mean, I've seen Franco at his worst. And I remember Franco would brag about how he is untouchable. Pinagmalaki niya yan na kaya daw niya tawagan lang si Bato, isang phone call. Nobody can touch him. He can do whatever he wants at hindi siya magagalaw ng batas. Ganun kalakas siya. according to him. At hindi lang yon. Marami siyang mga pinagmalaki nung time na yon at pinagmayabang. At dahil nga malapit siya kay Duterte, at sa mga hindi naniniwala, yun na nga, pag tinignan mo lang yung social media niya my God, ilang beses niya pinopost yung kasama niya si Duterte. And I know anyone can post that, but believe me, he has enough posts with Duterte so many times that it would be hard pressed to defend him and say hindi siya DDS at kung hindi niya ba kilala si Duterte. Pakita ko lang yung mga ibang posts sa inyo para lang makita nyo gaano kalapit si Franco sa mga Duterte. Ayan yan siya at saka si Digong. Galing to sa sa ano ni Franco sa kanyang Instagram. Ayan na naman. Tapos dito si Harry Roque nasa likod pa nila, mukhang ready na mangulango to si Harry Roque dito. Tingnan mo yan, handang-handa na, yan, papasok na, may dadial na siya sa sa loob ng ilong niyang yan. Ayan. Ito naman ngayon, ito pa isa pa, yun, tingnan mo yan, Yan si Franco. 2017, December 2021, kasama yan si Lorraine Badoy, Mark Lopez, yan mga yan. Yan Duterte Christmas Party, Chavez Christmas Party, Marcos Christmas Party, yan na. Okay? So, ganun ka lapit si Franco sa mga Duterte. At dahil Duterte was so powerful back then, lahat ng mga kongresista, senador, everyone was bowing to Duterte. Everyone was afraid of Duterte. And therefore, Franco was able to get close to a lot of people. Dahil doon, a lot of politicians, ang dami talagang ang daming naging malapit ang dami si Francong nalapitan na politiko at I'm sure lalo pa siyang kumita ng mas malaki dahil nung time na yon, syempre may eleksyon nung 2019, tapos kailangan nila ng attack dog, kailangan nila ng troll para pag-usapan din sila, syempre kasi nakita nila na parang sumisika to si Franco. So yun, ang dami nangyaring ganon. So in fairness, kumita na malaki si Franco. So much so na pinopost niya yan on social media, pinapadala niya yan sa mga group chats, pinagmamalaki niya yung pera niya. Cash.